All right, let's start with the easy one. What's your full name?
Josephine Dorothy Kathleen Burnson Green.
Bert? Wow. It's quite a name. Well, what was your first memory that you can remember?
I remember that my folks lived on a farm in Reno County, and we had a two-story house, and there was a cement porch covered on the front, and there was a cistern where we collected rainwater, and I remember sitting on that cistern, and it was a beautiful sunshiny summer day, no wind, and I looked out, and there was what was called mud wallows, and there were little depressions in the ground, and they would fill with rain, and when the rain went away, that would fill with dust, and this old hen was laying out there in that one of these depressions, and she was flustering her wing, and it was the most beautiful, peaceful day that I've ever, and sometimes now, when I get kind of uptight, I can bring back that memory, and it kind of soothes me.
That was how old were you there, you think?
I think I must have been 6 or 7, because my mother was rocking my little sister in a rocking chair at the other end of the porch, and she was 3. So I must have been, 6 or 7.
Oh, that's cool.
But that was the most beautiful, peaceful, and I can still bring back that memory. And it sort of relieved me.
Wow. Well, do you remember your oldest relative that was around you around that time?
My grandpa Burnson. I don't know how old he was. I think he was the oldest relative that I knew.
Do you have any memories with him that you liked?
I remember he always wore a suit with a white shirt and a vest. And in this vest he had this gold watch on a chain, and the watch was about that big, and it had a little clip on it that you could push, and the face would open up, and I remember I was sitting on his knee, and he let me take, it was a wonderful thing, because he let me take that watch out, and he showed me how to push it to open up the face, and then he let me close it, and he put it back in his pocket. That was my earliest memory.
Wow, that's really cool. So was that your grandpa on your mom's side or your dad's side?
My dad's side.
Oh, okay.
Grandpa Burnson.
Very cool. Where were your parents from?
Mom was from Andale, and Dad was from Pickwick, Kansas.
Pickwick, Kansas. How did they end up meeting?
Dad came up to Andale as an itinerant farmer, in the summer, and they had Catholic community dances, and that's how they met.
Oh, really? What was your dad doing at the time when you met your mom?
Pardon?
What was your dad doing for work when you met your mom?
He was an itinerant farmer.
Oh, okay. So what does that mean by itinerant farmer?
He would come up and help farmers that needed help during harvest.
Oh, okay. And then what was your mom doing?
She was just a mom.
She was just a mom?
she was just a daughter that lived at home with her parents.
That was very cool. How long was it from when they met when they got married?
I think about a year.
Really? Okay.
About a year.
Where did they get married at?
Andale, Kansas.
Okay.
Reno County.
Oh, very cool. And then how many kids did they end up having?
10.
10 kids. Where are you on that?
I'm the 8th one.
The 8th one. Wow. How was it growing up with 8 older siblings and 2 younger siblings?
The older ones, we had a country home, and there were 4 bedrooms downstairs, and we girls were down there, but the folks turned the top into a dormitory for my 6 brothers. And what was the question?
How was it growing up with all that 10 people in your family?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
There was always somebody to love and fight with, especially fight with.
What was some of your earliest fights that you remember?
Oh God, sibling stuff.
Yeah. Do you remember anything that happened between you, the siblings, like that happened? Like a fight that happened between them?
No, it's just arguments. And, there were 3 girls, and it was just girl stuff.
Okay. Very cool. How did you? Is there anything else about your childhood home that you remember really well?
I remember that in the summertime it would be so hot, and my mother would we had a pump on the porch, and we pumped that and take the water and put it out on the cement to cool it, and then she would let us lay out there until the harvest men came in from the field. I remember that. It was so nice.
Yeah.
And it was peaceful. Out on the farm, you get this peace that you don't get anyplace else. And I think every child, every boy especially, should be raised out on a farm until he's 11 or 12 years old. He learns about the animals, and he knows that if you don't work, you don't eat. And it teaches him something, and the kids nowadays don't have that.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a tractor, or you remember a tractor or a car?
Pardon?
A tractor or a car?
For transportation.
Right, when you were very young.
Oh, we had it was a cart that my mother used to drive to take us around when we wanted to go visit. But then we got a Model A or a Model T, I don't remember which, a Model T. And she never learned to drive, so we still took the cart, to go around and visit. But that was the best thing that happened, was getting that old Model T. Not was it old one, I think it was one of the first new ones that was bought in the county.
Where did you go to school when you were younger?
I started out at Pretty Prairie. No, I started out in a little country school out in the country, and then I moved to. And when I was 11, we moved to Conway Springs, Kansas, and that's where I grew up.
Conway Springs. How far is that from Wichita?
Gosh, I don't know. Do you know, Dennis?
Oh, it's good 30-some miles, 38 or 39 miles.
Okay. So when and you told me last night that was when you saw JD when you were 11. Is that where you first saw JD, when you moved over?
Yeah, I used to go to my sister's home in the summer to help her with her children during harvest, and that's where I met JD. They were neighbors. The Greens were neighbors.
Oh, really?
And I was 11, first time I met him. And what really, I looked at him and I thought, boy, I'm going to marry him someday. When I saw him, he came home from college and he had these shoes that had spats on them. And I thought, this is a cat's meow. I'm going to marry this guy someday.
Was it really the shoes? The shoes that was the most attractive part of it? Oh, that's funny. So, and did you meet him right after that, or was it a while before you actually met JD?
No, he was neighbors, and when I would go up to help with my sisters, they were real good friends, plus neighbors. and I saw him a lot. He babysat me when I was 11. The people would go to the square dances and stuff, and he didn't go, so he stayed home and babysat all of us kids, and I was 11 at the time.
How much older was he than you?
He 8 or 9 years, I can't remember.
Okay. And then why wasn't he going to any of the dances?
I guess he just wasn't interested at the time.
Uh-huh. And so so you guys met each other that way. How long did it take for you guys to start dating then? What age were you when you started dating him, actually?
Well, I didn't start dating him until he came home from the war.
So you waited all that time?
We wrote to each other during the war, but then we didn't really start dating until he came home.
Okay. What were you doing during that whole time? What age were you when you actually started dating him?
I was about 18 when we started dating.
Oh, okay. Did you ever work there during that time? Any jobs besides the farm?
But
Did you ever work in any jobs besides the farm?
I worked in my parents'. They left the farm and moved to Conway Springs and bought a restaurant, and I worked for my parents there
Oh, really?
until I was got out of high school, about 18.
What would you do at the restaurant?
I cooked. I waited on customers. Did everything. I was about 11, but back then there was no child.
No child loss.
And so I was a waitress and a cook, and I used to get up and go to the restaurant with my dad in the mornings and serve breakfast. And there was we had a pretty big trade, and it taught me a lot.
Is that where you learned most of your cooking from? Oh, really?
My mom was the main cook, but that's where I learned my cooking.
Was your mom the one who created the menu pretty much for the restaurant? What kind of food was served there?
Pardon?
What kind of food did you guys serve?
Oh, we had roast beef, we had sausage, and they were complete dinners with mashed potatoes and gravy and a vegetable and a salad.
Wow.
And then a dessert. And I think we sold it for $1.35.
Oh, wow. Were you always the family cook around holidays too?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. What about when you were younger though? Was it always your mom being the cook for for family get-togethers?
Yes.
Okay.
When we would have Thanksgiving, they would come to our restaurant, and we would have dinner, our Thanksgiving dinner there.
Oh, you have your whole family coming to the restaurant and you close it down?
I mean, my mom was the main cook.
Oh, okay. Very cool. So what would you guys do for holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas? Would you do the same thing for Christmas too?
On Christmas, we didn't celebrate holidays much back then, except family. You got together and ate a big dinner at someone's house, on Thanksgiving. But Christmas, it was more of a family affair.
Okay. Do you have any good memories of Christmas?
I remember one time Santa Claus came. This isn't a good memory, but Santa Claus came and he rattled chains, to show that we better be good during the year. And my dad got so mad he almost threw Santa Claus out.
Who was dressed up as Santa Claus?
I think it was my Uncle Matt. He was the honoring one in the family.
Would he do that a lot during the holidays?
He was always pulling something.
He was the jokester of the family? Oh, that's funny.
Kind of the black sheep.
Oh, that's funny. So you met JD there. So it took you a year to get wedding. What was your wedding day like?
It was beautiful, except for one thing. some little boy got away from his dad and ran down the aisle saying, "Don't spank me, Daddy! Don't spank me, Daddy!"
I can remember that.
That was Dennis.
Yeah, that was me.
Did you? How'd you feel after when you saw Dennis running down the aisle?
What?
How old was Dennis when he was running down the aisle?
4, weren't you?
Yeah. What year did you get married?
What?
What year did you get married?
What year were we
What year?
married?
Yeah, what year did you get married?
We were 45.
Hmm.
I graduated at 43, married in 45, and had my first son at 47.
Hmm. Wow. How was the ceremony like, or the reception like afterwards?
It's just the normal old reception.
Yeah. Who married you? Like who was the
Monsignor Green, he was Father Green then.
Father Green at the time? How are we related to Father Green again?
No pardon.
How are we related to Father Green?
JD and Father Green were cousins.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Did you know Father Green before then?
Yes,
How was he like?
I knew him because he was a parish priest at Conway for a while, and that's where I first met Father Green.
What was he like?
Happy. He always could see the bright side of everything, and I loved him. I could go talk to him. You could tell him anything, and feel comfortable, like he wasn't going to criticize you. Yeah, I really loved him.
Oh, that's very cool. So what was JD like on your wedding day?
Kind of scared.
What was he scared of?
Married in the whole 9 yards.
Oh, that's cool. Did you guys go on a honeymoon after your wedding day?
No.
Okay, you just stayed around here. So was JD out of the military at that point?
No.
Oh, he was still in the military. So did he come home on a leave
It came through on a bond drive and we were married.
Oh, okay.
And we went out to the stadium, and I didn't know they were going to do this, but they put the spotlight on me as the bride of one of the bond drive guys.
Oh, really? Wait, so he did a bond. Is that like basically like a celebratory for war? A bond drive? I don't know what it is.
Raise money for the government.
Oh, okay.
Treasury.
Oh, I see.
You missed that day in school, huh?
No, didn't. Well, I knew about bonds, but
Somebody had to pay for the war.
I guess. So what did you do on the bond drives, really?
What did he do? They just advertised, and sold as many bonds as they could.
And that was so he wasn't active after you guys got married. He never went back to fight in the war. Okay.
He never had to go back to fight.
And then did you know he was missing in action during that time?
Not, I didn't know it then until later. Was it the Pope? Who was it that let the folks know that he was missing in action?
Red Cross.
Red Cross, I think.
But you didn't know the whole time though while he was missing until he came back. Oh, okay. Very cool. So what did you guys do? What did you do once he came back? Once he got out of doing the bond drives?
We ended up getting married, and gosh, what did he do? I can't remember.
Where were you living at?
We were out of Castleton, Kansas. And we moved to, JD and I lived in Wichita after we were married.
Why did you guys choose Wichita? Do you know why did you come back to live in Wichita?
Because of jobs.
Oh, okay. So he was just trying out jobs then? Was he working on a farm then?
No, he wasn't. When he first came back from the service, he wasn't working on the farm. He came to Wichita right away, and we started looking for jobs.
Okay.
And then he got a job. I forget who his first job was with.
What was the most farthest back job that you remember him doing?
Pardon.
What was the other? What were some other jobs that you remember him doing?
About the only thing I remember him doing is working for the military as a civilian.
What did he do for the military as a civilian?
Was that when he was working on fire trucks
Yes. Yeah.
or the emergency vehicles or something?
Yeah. He repaired and maintained the fire trucks for civil service.
Very cool. So when did you have your first child?
1947.
Oh, who was that then?
Our
John Edward.
John Edward Green.
John Edward Green. Cool. What was that? What was that like having your child, first child?
Oh, it was wonderful. I remember I came to and this little hand hit my face and my heart was gone.
John Edward. How many kids did you have after that?
I had 3 boys.
3 boys all together, and you had John. And then when was the next one born?
John and then David and then Paul.
How
Paul came along 18 years later.
yeah. How far were John? When was David born?
David was born in 50.
1950. So they were 3 years apart.
Uh-huh.
And then Paul was 18 years later. That's very cool. So they all lived, and then by what time? Let's see. Did you guys have a lot of friends when you had all your kids when you were married all together?
Yeah. We lived the first, I can't remember. We've always had a lot of friends. And what I hate now is I outlived all of them and I don't have anybody to commiserate about, what happened way back when.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I hate about being 93 is I lost my friends.
So do you remember any big moments in history, kind of like as you're going back? Like, do you remember when President Kennedy was shot?
Oh yeah, I was shopping in J.C. Penney's and I went to the lounge and cried, but I wasn't the only one in there crying.
Wow.
There were several women there. We were all in terrible shock.
Did you like President Kennedy a lot?
Yes,
What,
I loved him.
why'd you like him so? Why'd you love him so much?
He was just more of an average, down-to-earth guy that I think understood his people.
A lot more than every other president.
Yeah, I think so.
Was that the biggest historical thing you can remember really well?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when Pearl Harbor was bombed?
Oh, yes, and my brother Simon was thrown off of a ship into the water.
Wow.
And he almost drowned. But a boat came along and picked him up and, saved his life, yes.
Wow.
He was on the Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's crazy. Did you guys hear about that? Did you know he was over there at that time?
We knew he was over there, but we didn't know for a while that he was, thrown out into the water.
Oh, wow.
He came home and was telling us that. I remember he would come home, and he told us not to take flashbulb pictures of him because when those flashes went off, it reminded him of being thrown off of the ship.
Wow.
Did you get the news by a radio?
Pardon?
How did you get the news on December 7th?
I don't remember how the folks got the news. Do you remember, David?
It would have had to have been radio. We had no TV back here at that time. So
Do you remember? Did you have a radio? Oh, you were
Yeah,
living in the
Yeah, we had a radio.
at the restaurant, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Because I don't think there was electricity at the farm
we had a
until
radio.
after or until during the war.
We had a radio because of my mom's soap operas.
I remember a letter from my dad, you know, and to our grandparents, our grandmother, talking about they're putting the electricity along the road there, and they're going to get rid of the gas engine out of the washing machine and get electric motor for it or something.
1943.
1943 is when they put electricity in there?
I was 6 months old.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Did you and JD have electricity the whole time when you came back?
What?
Did you and JD have electricity at your house when you were living together?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
What was some of the things? Do you remember having a TV or a radio or?
When we were married,
Uh
we didn't have very much of anything.
huh. Do you remember when you got your first TV?
Yeah, the first time I saw a TV was when a cousin put together a TV that he made and gave it to his parents, and that was the first time I saw a TV.
Do you remember any of the show? Did you have any favorite TV shows back then or anything?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it, you know. I was a city girl, and then I was dumped out on the farm. And it was so quiet that that TV was a lifesaver.
Oh, really? Do you remember watching it? Do you remember what any of the things that you watched on the TV?
I don't remember.
Changed a lot.
How are you doing with the interview so far?
Pardon?
How are you feeling so far?
Oh, feel all right.
You good? Okay, cool.
You want to take a break or rest for a minute?
Pardon?
Do you want to take a break or rest?
No, I'm all right.
You're good to keep going? Okay, cool. So you guys, so you have John and David. What was your experience like growing up with them, having them grow up with you?
Well, Johnny was perpetual motion. He had, I can't think of the initials of it, but
ADD?
and we would go. I remember one time we went to visit at a neighbor's house, and their daughter was about the same age as Johnny, and we went out in the kitchen, and here was 12 bananas peeled and laid on the counter. They just peeled them, you know, and laid them out. They didn't eat them.
How was JD, your husband? How was he as a father?
He was great. He took time with the kids, and he disciplined them, but he did it with sense, you know. And they knew that if they got in trouble in school or any place, when they came home, they were going to be in as much trouble, if not worse. And we always took the teacher's word. We listened to both sides of the story, but they weren't problem kids. Excuse me.
Were they always working out on the farm, and then you were always inside the house usually?
Yeah.
How was that experience? Did you ever like not being out on the farm?
I kind of hated summer because of the meals. We farmed our farm, and then we farmed some land away and I had to cook meals and take it over out to the farm, and that was hard. I remember one time I was in a pickup coming down the hill with my load of food, and the brakes gave out, and I had to cross 17 highway. I never was so scared in my life. I made it across without getting hit, but oh God, I was scared.
The brakes just gave out on you?
They just gave out. I pressed and pressed almost through the floorboards.
Oh wow. Were your parents Catholic, very Catholic growing up?
Yes.
So were you guys going to church like every Sunday?
Yeah. Oh yes. And we got on our knees alongside of a chair and said the rosary. My dad was really good about that. That we would kneel and say the rosary.
You guys would always say it as a family? How often would you say the rosary?
Every night.
Every night before you go to bed? Wow. Oh wow, that's really cool. Was JD as Catholic as you too?
I don't think he was as strict a Catholic or brought up as strict a Catholic as we were.
Did you guys do a lot of? Were you going to church every Sunday with JD and your family?
With JD's family?
No, with your family, with David and John. Were you guys going to church every Sunday?
Yeah, we lived down on the farm. Went to this small mission parish, and the priest came out every Sunday.
Oh wow, very cool. Were you praying while the brakes were giving out on you? Were you praying as the brakes were giving out on you?
I said every prayer I could think. I think the Holy Mary was. That was the Holy Mary is my favorite prayer. When something happens, the first thing that shoots in my mind is Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us.
Oh, that's really cool. And then when you had Paul, was John and David already moved out of the house?
Yeah, because we lived in Wichita and they were gone. Yeah.
How was that experience having a kid after having two of them already leaving the nest?
It was an experience. It was altogether different. I raised the boys on the farm, and I had to raise him in the city. And you constantly had to fight and watch, who he was. One time I looked out of the window and they had Paul up on a bucket and was going to put a rope around his neck and hang him, and I was screamed, and that finally stopped that little laugh. But
what point did you guys move from the farm to the city?
when
You said you were in the city with Paul, but you were in the farm with David and David and John.
I can't remember.
Why did you guys move to the city? Did
Work.
Oh, okay. What?
We weren't making enough on the farm, and so JD, we moved to town so he could get a job, and then we farmed on the weekend.
Oh, really? Oh, so you always kept your farm though during this whole time? Okay. What was Paul's opinion of the farm?
He loved it. He liked to get out. We had a little dog named Chippy, and we drove this station wagon, and when we opened up the door, we always was guessing who's going to be the first one to jump out.
That's very cool.
He missed out on a lot of sports and stuff because we went out to the farm on the weekends. But he loved it so much, that we decided it was worth it. So,
yeah, as long as he really liked it, it was worth it.
And I think every boy until he's 11 or 12 should have some experience on a farm or out in the country. You learn about taking care of animals, and that you've got to do the work or you don't eat.
Yeah.
You have to learn that.
What was some of your favorite farm animals?
We had an old cow named Bossy, and she gave gallons of milk, and then I would let it sit out, and the cream would come to the top, and skim that off and make butter.
Did you milk your cows?
I never milked.
Oh, you never milked.
I had excuses.
Was Bossy yours and JD's, or was that on your parents?
No, it was JD and I's first
okay.
cow.
Oh wow, that was your first cow. Did you have any other favorite animals on the farm?
Just dogs.
Yeah.
We always had a dog.
Were those the same kind of dogs, or did you always have a different kind?
We started out having mostly terriers. I didn't have a big dog until Johnny brought her. But
Okay.
we had rat terriers and
Yeah. That's very cool. And so, how was it after when Paul left the house? How was that for you and JD?
lonely at first because he had scores of friends and there was always kids around, and JD and I both missed that.
What did you guys what did you and JD do during retirement?
We didn't do much. We were always going to travel later. And when later came, we couldn't.
Did you and JD travel at all?
No, not as much as we were. We went to California, and I think that was the biggest trip we made.
What did you think of California?
It was too darn busy for me.
Did you visit anything big in California, like Disneyland or anything like that?
Yeah, relatives took us, around and showed us. The ocean was the biggest thing for me. I had to take off my shoes and socks and way down and have a wave come up.
Did you like the beach?
Oh, I love the beach.
Did you enjoy going more to the beach, or did you enjoy going to mountains?
I don't like the mountains. I'm too scared of heights. But I like the beach. I like to walk and get my feet in the sand.
Oh yeah, so what was your first experience like seeing a mountain? Because you never saw mountains around here in Kansas, really, right?
I never saw them. First time I couldn't believe that anything could grow out of the earth, and be so tall. I was older when I first saw my mountain, and I just couldn't believe that it took me a while to get used to seeing all these big hills and mountains.
Yeah. And so for JD, what was some of your favorite memories with JD as you guys got older? As you got older with all your kids?
Having them come home and just visit. Kids were always really good about coming home to see us. And my oldest son now, I couldn't ask for a more perfect son. We never had any girls, but he has taken over, and he finally moved in with me so I wouldn't have to go to a home. And he's doing great, with cooking, and he does everything but go to the bathroom with me.
Do you remember any of your did you ever have any favorite songs while you were growing up, or favorite books or movies or shows?
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind?
I saw that movie. I don't know how many times, but I always liked that, what Rhett Butler said.
What did Red Butler say?
I don't give a damn.
Oh, that's cool. Well, did you see that in the movie theaters?
Pardon?
You see that in the movie theater?
Saw it in the movie theater. I rented and brought it home and did movies. I can't remember how many times I've seen it, but that was my favorite show.
Well, what was it? What's it like growing up, or growing with all the technology that's been coming out with computers and
Oh,
everything?
I am in love with everything that's going on. And I'm thankful to God that I have enough ability to use it. And because this thing here keeps me going. I can keep up with my family, and I love it when they post pictures of their children. I can see them. I can't get out anymore to go visit, so I can see the kids growing up, and it's really great.
Who are some of the people you follow on Facebook?
Gosh, about everybody.
Got everybody on there. That's cool. Well, how did you feel about before you got on the Facebook and everything? Were you confident you could do it?
No, not at first. I was scared. I thought I was too old to learn the technology. But then I let myself kind of absorb it slowly, and then it came natural. And people are amazed that at 93, that I'm capable of doing that. But I just let it come degree by degree, and I learned to handle it. I love it.
That's cool. But do you remember what your first phone was? Your first mobile phone? Do you remember when you got that? What age you were?
I can't remember when I first got it. I can't remember.
So how old was JD when he finally passed away though?
Do you remember, Dennis? I don't remember. 80-something, but
Yes, it was. I can't. Can you remember the year? I'm not sure I can even pull up the year. I remember his service and I remember everything about it.
he was in his late 80s, I know.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Was there any life experience that JD taught you while you were married to him the whole time?
To watch my back. He was a prisoner of war, and he always, at first I didn't understand when we were married, he would always get back in the corners, and stay away. And when we finally went to counseling, it was because when he was a prisoner, you always had to watch your back. And that after, the psychiatrist got him to talk about it, he couldn't talk about it. And then when we got to counseling, he opened up, and oh my, the stories he told.
Do you remember any interesting stories that he told about it?
Oh, yeah, I just remember that these families that hid him out in Italy. After they escaped, the families hid him out.
Do you know why JD couldn't go into a roller skating rink? Why JD couldn't go into a roller skating rink?
Oh, when they were on a train and they were going through the mountains, and the Negro bombing school bombed the entrance and threw him out, and he couldn't. He could hear the wheels turning, and that whenever he would go in a skating rink, it would set him, we now know it was post-traumatic stress, that it would just absolutely tear him up.
Wow.
And so we'd take the kids, but he never would go in with them, We didn't that didn't come out either until we were in counseling, why he couldn't go into a skating rink, because the sound of the wheels.
Was there anything else that you found out later that was from PTSD, from the post-traumatic stress disorder? Was there any other things like you couldn't do because of the post-traumatic stress disorder?
No, I could always tell when PSD was
setting in? What was JD like as a worker though on the farm?
Oh God, he'd get up in the morning and go to bed at night, and he never rested. Oh, he worked constantly.
Yeah.
I really don't know how he did as much as he did.
Yeah, had all the energy in the world.
And he was conscientious about everything that he did.
How was he as a husband to you?
Great. I never married again because I knew I couldn't find anyone that would baby.
Oh, that's cool.
I never was interested. I was approached to date, but I never was interested. He was the only man I ever wanted, never had. I was satisfied.
That's awesome. Did you learn any other life lessons in your 93 years?
Oh my God. The main thing I learned is to unconditionally love. That was the main thing that, and thank God I was able to do that. I've been able to unconditionally love people, and I'm always thankful that I was blessed with that.
Do you have anything you want to tell for future generations? Any advice you have for them?
Right now, learn to pray, and pray often, and pray for your family, and pray for your children and your grandchildren. I have a big disappointment because my grandchildren aren't Catholic, and that I only had that as, I never was rich, and that was the only gift I had to pass down, and it wasn't accepted. And that bothers me and hurt me.
You should let John and Dennis ask some questions.
Yeah.
Well, just commentary. She, of all my aunts, and I had a lot, she was the one I felt closest to. She had the heart. She had the love. And Uncle JD was a great uncle. Always teasing and joking and having fun. They were fine people. Very fine people. But I told her in my last birthday card it's important that she is here with us. And that's a good sign that we should go on. Yeah, she's a marvelous woman.
You got some great family, huh?
Pardon?
Great family.
You have some great family, don't you?
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. I do. I have 2 nieces that come over and free gratis clean my house once a week. Don't charge anything. My family's just always been so loving to me that, you know, if I need anything, all I need to do is pick up the phone and call. I can call any of them.
The love coming back.
I miss my sister something terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like being the last one in the family because I don't have anyone, you know, to be close to.
Do you have anything else in this interview that you wanted to talk about that I didn't get to or one of us questioned about?
No, just love one another. This Model T, and we would drive the street of Conway Springs, and she parked one time on the side of the road, and I had to pee, and I sat on the bumper, and I was peeing, and she started the car up and drove with me sitting on the bumper. peeing. I could have killed her. Almost ended a perfect friendship.
How old were you then?
About 17, 18.
That sounds like the right age for friends to do that to you.
It's like it would be embarrassing.
Oh, that's fun.
I had a lot of fun. In my 93 years, I've had an awful lot of fun and a lot of friends. And I don't regret a minute of it.
Did you tell them the cow story?
The what?
The cow story? The wild cow, when you were working somewhere and there was a cow that got out?
Oh, well, I was working for Santa Fe Trailways, and I had to go to the bank. I took her out down the railroad tracks, and these railroad men really watched out for me. And I was going down the tracks, and this cow escaped and came barreling at me. And I don't remember whether I jumped on the... I don't remember how I got away from her. But it terrified me.
Is there anything you want to ask her, John?
Okay. Remember when we were coming back from Aunt Martha and Uncle Martin's and the truck door flew open and you went out the door and I went to grab my mom to save her and we both went out the door?
Yeah. Well, we were sitting in, Johnny and I sitting in the front seat, and we were coming from home from Aunt Martha's, and the car door flew open, and I wanted to save Johnny, but he was trying to save me. How old were you?
I don't know, but Dave didn't grab either one of us. He stayed in the trailer. It was in the 1954 truck, and we were going from Aunt Martha's over to Aunt Eileen's, over to Henry and Eileen's.
No, that's funny.
All he said was, "Dad, let's get some ice cream."
Yeah.
I remember we had this little terrier dog, and she had pups underneath the garage of the grain van, and Johnny went out and he came running up and he said, Mama, there's something out there eating. And what was the dog's name?
Tiny.
Tiny. I went out there and looked, and she had pups, and they were nursing.
You always said Dad got amused when we would stop and get that chocolate malt after we got them hamburgers of watching Dave drink the malt in his...
In his stomach, he would drink this. He had drank the whole malt, and you could just see his little old belly swelling.
Those two women that had that 8 for $1 hamburgers that we stopped and got, there was a story behind them. Were they two sisters that their boyfriends went off to fight in World War I and died, and they just stayed together there and opened that hamburger shop up. Do you remember their names?
No, I don't.
But that was there in South Hutch by Aunt Eileen's beauty parlor. Then that Alaskan Malt was just down the road from there. That Alaskan Hotel's still there, but the Dairy Queen Malt Shop isn't. Right?
It's been gone for a long time.
For a long time.
Okay, my favorite story is the one about. I have two favorite stories from you. The one about getting the bulldozer and loading it into the truck.
Oh, we had this old international truck, and we backed up to the dock to pick up our new Caterpillar, and they drove the Caterpillar on, and all of a sudden, I was looking up in the air and finally it settled down, and they got the Caterpillar on, but here I was, the front end of the truck was way up in the air. What's the other one?
The bunt pan story.
The what?
Bunt pan. Where you bought the cake and you took it somewhere and they asked you for the recipe.
Oh, yeah, I had this bunt pan and I baked a cake, and I took the pan and they asked me for the recipe, and I didn't know. I did not bake the cake. And they asked me for the recipe and I didn't know it.
So then you went and got the recipe, and then they asked if they could borrow your pan. And that got her into more trouble.
The lie that just kept growing.
Then she went and bought a pan.
I always got caught if I tried to lie or sneak. It never worked out, darn it.
How old were you then?
Oh, I was married. Gosh, I don't know how old I was. 30, maybe. Or maybe 40.
Still trying to get away with things?
We did a family cookbook, and one of the things that we did in the family cookbook was put some little snippets about the family. Do you remember what you put about after you were born, what happened to the doctor?
Committed suicide. Yeah, I was born, he went home and committed suicide.
Really?
Really?
Wait, so when you were first born,
Yeah.
and then you were the last one the doctor had?
I was born out in the country, and he delivered me, and when he went home, he committed suicide.
Did it ever come out why he did that?
No, I don't think he. It's one look at me.
Maybe that was where you dropped the mic. You done such a good job.
There was nothing left he could do. All right. Well, how do you feel about the interview?
I think it was funny.
Think it was good? All right. Is there any other last things you want to tell anybody?
Anything to your grandkids, Regina or John?
Pardon?
Oh, anything you want to tell to Regina or John?
I love them so much, and I'm glad that both of them married really good guys, and that they're satisfied in their careers.
Oh, very cool.
Now, Raquel's not married yet.
What?
Raquel's not married yet. She's still in high school.
Yes.
We'll wait for her.
She better not. I'm so happy that Paul married Lori, and they had this little girl, because she brought youth back into our life.
What was her name again?
Raquel.
Raquel.
She's as beautiful as her name.
Yeah, she's right there.
She's smart. She's intelligent.
Musical.
Beautiful.
How has your experience been being a grandma to her?
Pardon?
How has your experience been being a grandma to her?
How?
How has your experience been with
Being a
her?
grandmother,
Uh-huh.
oh God, great. I love being a grandma. Even about as much as I did a mama.
That's very cool.
I was so happy that Paul married, that we got Raquel.
Hmm.
She's loving.
Very cool. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say for the last of the interview?
Everybody be kind to each other and don't forget your prayers.
All right. That's a good place to end.